welcome back to this week's vlog. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jen. This is my channel where I share all about my postpartum journey. I share about motherhood, wellness, just everything about my life since having my son Grayson. This week we're doing something fun and a little different from what I've done in my previous videos. On Instagram, I had people submit questions that they had for me literally about anything. Postpartum, about pregnancy, about fitness, lifestyle, diet, anything anybody wanted to ask. I went through and I compiled a list of questions that I want to answer for you guys, and just so that you guys can get to know me a little bit better and know a little bit more about my journey after having Grayson. If I don't answer it in depth enough, I'm hoping in the future to be able to create more videos about the questions that you guys asked. Question number 1, what are good first steps to getting healthy after having a baby? I think something that I wish I would have done more after having Grayson was just going on walks and understanding that physical exercise doesn't have to look like lifting at the gym, doing HIIT trainings, anything like that. I really didn't start working out again until about 6 months postpartum. I think I would have benefited if I had started working out a little bit sooner and doing like moderate level exercise. I also think that in general, just having an understanding that recovering postpartum is just as important as getting to a place that you would like to be physically. There's so many things that go into recovery after having a baby, and I think it's really important not to rush through trying to get somewhere that you just shouldn't be in those first few weeks and even months. Eating the right foods, allowing your body to try and stabilize itself after having a baby is really important. Also, you're going to be really tired and it's a big transition in life, so just giving yourself grace and taking it one step at a time and knowing that eventually you're gonna have more time to start getting back to those things that you value, like working out and meal prepping and things like that. What is my current workout routine, and tell me more about postpartum health? Right now I'm lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays I do some form of cardio or Pilates or yoga. For me, I really like to ride my stationary bike or go for a run outside. I also like to go on walks with Grayson and our dog. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I don't like to like overexert myself and like beat myself into the ground with my workouts every single day, because I don't think it's sustainable to do that every single day. But I do like to vary up my workouts and give myself some variety to try different things that I haven't done before. Give myself a little bit of a refresh from lifting. Tell me about postpartum health, the second part of that submission. Oh man, there's so much I could say about postpartum health. There's so many things that go into it. Again, I think doing things day by day, focusing on getting fruits and vegetables and lean meats and healthy fats is like the biggest thing that I can recommend. Really eating a well-balanced diet. What was your biggest challenge in weight loss so far? Oh man, there's so many things that I could say to this, but I think my mentality has been the biggest struggle, challenge with what I'm facing. I think I get frustrated when I'm not losing weight as fast as I want to be, or I'm not hitting goals as fast as I want to be. There's days where I don't feel like it, or there's days where I'm so busy that it feels like I don't have enough time to really put the energy into losing weight like I want to. And I think a lot of times I get in this negative thought cycle that because I haven't lost everything that I wanted to lose, or my body isn't as toned as I wanted it to be, my mentality tells me that I should give up, or it's not worth it, or I'm not trying hard enough. It's an everyday struggle. It's something that I'm working on and I'm never going to be perfect at. And I don't really think anybody wakes up every day in their journey with health and is like so impressed with themselves. I think that's why it's such a beautiful thing, because it's a journey, and even when you reach your first goal, there's going to be something else that you're working towards after that. How long did it take you and your husband to get back to a normal relationship? Man, that's a loaded question. I don't think our relationship is ever going to be like what it was before, in many good ways and in many just different ways. I feel like normal for us is only started to happen within the past like 2 or 3 months, since maybe like Christmas, and since I started going and seeing a doctor and trying to help myself. I felt like that was really affecting our marriage. It's been a big transition for us, and I think we're still learning a lot, and I don't think that's ever gonna stop. I think Ben would say he was more mentally prepared for how much your life changes. I think I was a little naive in how much it was really gonna change. Naive in a way that I was really optimistic and knew that I wanted kids and knew that they brought a lot of joy, but I don't think I was realistic with myself about all of the things that were going to be hard. The next question: how do you feel about birth control and the lack of education when it comes to sex ed, especially around women's health? If you want to get me heated about a topic, let's talk about birth control and sex ed, because I feel very passionately about this. One, I think that there's a lot of issues with treating other problems by giving young women birth control to cover up symptoms and then telling them not to worry about it until it comes time to having kids. I think our generation is the first to have widely spread issues with reproduction and fertility and cycles. At least I feel like it is. I don't know the research around that, but I do know that our generation is one of the first generations that has been taking birth control since the age of like 15. I personally was somebody who started taking birth control at 15 because I was having horrible PMS symptoms. I had horrible cysts on my ovaries, so whenever I would get my period, it was just really bad. And it really frustrates me that women are given birth control as a form of treatment when it's not really treating anything. It's just covering up the issues until later on in life when they go into a different chapter and they don't want to take birth control anymore, and then they're still left with these issues that were never resolved. There's a movement happening that is really shifting that education for women, but it's really hard to think about that when you're 15 and you have no idea about any of that. You don't know. Sex education, man, I come from an extremely religious and conservative community. People tell you don't have sex until marriage. That's it. That's your solution. Be celibate. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but the reality is that just doesn't always happen for people. Those aren't always the core beliefs for people, that waiting till marriage is necessary. And I just feel like it's a taboo topic still, especially in the area I live in. I wish people were more open in talking about sex education and other ways to prevent pregnancy and ways to take care of your body and prevent STDs and all of that kind of stuff. Everything is so controversial, and there's always going to be people that are so far on the left and so far on the right that are just going to attack people. And I really wish people in this world were a little bit more open-minded about subjects like that. But the reality is, I think we have a long way to go before we're really where we need to be at with sexual education. What was it like during your 4th trimester? If you don't have a kid and you don't know much about postpartum, that's what most people refer to that time after having baby when you have a newborn. They call it the 4th trimester because it really is still like very much a part of pregnancy and becoming mother or having another child. For me, I think I was just extremely naive about all of it. I don't think I was educated enough. I even took classes, which I've referenced before in previous videos. I took a breastfeeding class, a birthing class, and a newborn class. And I still feel like I was so unbelievably unprepared for the things that can happen. I never thought Grayson would be in the NICU. I never thought he would have reflux. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know he would have latching issues. I honestly thought breastfeeding just came naturally to everyone. I had no idea it was that difficult. I had no idea it was going to be so hard to get any sleep. I had no idea I would be so anxious that I wouldn't be able to eat or sleep. I wasn't prepared for honestly anything that I went through postpartum, and it was really hard for me. And I think there's a lot of things that happened during my 4th trimester that triggered my postpartum depression. I could talk about this for forever, and I think I'm gonna make further videos about just that whole experience and opening up a little bit more in detail about it. For me, mentally, it was really hard. I don't do well with sleep deprivation. I don't think anybody does, but it really, really affected me. Physically, I think because I did a natural unmedicated birth, my recovery was a little bit better than most people. I did tear a little bit, but it wasn't super bad, and I was very active during my whole pregnancy, so I feel like that really helped me postpartum. I tried not to overdo it. If I was feeling really tired or if I started to bleed heavier, I would stop and like not do as much as I was doing. I really followed the recommendations of the midwives and didn't overdo it physically. I think the worst part for me physically postpartum was the sleep deprivation. Everything else, like healing wise, wasn't too bad for me. I remember after delivery them asking me, oh, like what's your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10? And I was like 0. Like I just pushed a human out of me without medication. Like this is nothing compared to what that was like. I think I just have a high pain tolerance, but my recovery wasn't too bad. What was the push or final straw that made you realize there's a better way to live and for you to actually take the steps to make those changes? I think I got to a point one day where I just couldn't even stand being around myself. I wasn't happy with who I was at all, and it was just eating me away inside. I feel like I'm somebody who's had a pretty good self-esteem most of my life. There's definitely things I struggle with, but I just didn't love me. I didn't understand how Ben even wanted to be around me. I felt like I wasn't who I wanted to be as a mother. I felt like I was going to destroy everything that I loved, and I just knew I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be a weight tied around people's ankles, dragging them down. I wanted to be somebody who was a light to people, somebody who my family and friends looked up to. I think it was around 7 or 8 months postpartum that I really needed to change something because I just wasn't the person that I wanted to be. I'm really thankful for Ben. I remember the one morning, this is the conversation that changed everything. I told him I felt like he didn't understand anything I was going through, and I felt so isolated and alone, and I didn't like who I was, and I felt like our marriage was suffering. And he told me that he wanted me to get whatever help I needed. It didn't matter what cost it came at. And I'm super thankful that that was his response, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would have done. It was the scariest time of my life, and I never ever want anybody to go through that and ever feel that way. This is a side note, but if you're ever feeling like that and you don't know who to turn to, please know you can always reach out to me, DM me. I will talk to you on the phone. I will show up to wherever you need. I never want anybody to feel the way I felt, because it is so lonely. It's not how God made us to be. He did not make us to be alone and isolated like that. Let's change the pace a little and answer some fun questions. So, do you like living in this area? I like parts of living in this area. I love that my family's here. I love that it's familiar, but I do wish we lived somewhere that was a little bit warmer and was just a change of scenery. When it comes to nature, I would love to go out west or down south somewhere. Ben and I have thrown around ideas about that, but I just don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon, especially because of our business and family and starting a family. But I definitely think that in the future, we would love to move somewhere a little bit warmer, somewhere we can hike, somewhere that has just different scenery than what we have here. But I know it will be really hard to move because I'm super close with my family. What is your favorite color and favorite show right now? My favorite color is green. I love pretty much any shade of green except for lime green. I love sage green, which like, ew, this is so dirty, but this is definitely my favorite color. My favorite show, Ben and I are watching Lost. I know we're really behind the times on that, but we started watching that together back in December, and we're only on like season 3. It's a huge time commitment, but we're really enjoying watching 1 or 2 episodes every night after Grayson goes to bed. What is your favorite go-to snack or food right now? For snacks, I really have been eating a lot of beef sticks. They're made from a local butcher and I just like love them. It's quick, it's protein. If I'm not eating a beef stick, probably a protein shake or some kind of smoothie. I really love them, especially when it gets warmer. I love drinking smoothies when the weather starts to get warmer. As far as food, I really am enjoying grilled chicken on a kale and spring mix salad, which I made in my previous vlog that you saw. That's like a go-to meal of mine lately. I will add different toppings or try different dressings or make my own dressing, and I'm like loving that right now. I just think grilled chicken, like actually made on the grill at home, is like the best kind of chicken ever, and Ben makes a really good grilled chicken. And on a super fun note, one of you submitted, name 5 things that you like about yourself right now. I didn't pre-make this. I'm just rapid firing. First thing that comes to mind is I love my willingness to learn. I love that I am self-aware and can use that to help become better in areas of my life. I love that I'm empathetic. I love people, and I truly feel like I connect to people on a deeper level other than just surface. I love that I am intelligent. I feel like I have always been somebody who values that part of myself. I love that I am a mother. I have always wanted to be a mom, and it's taken me the better part of a year to get to the spot where I feel like I'm finally becoming the mom that I want to be. But it's one thing that I am very, very proud of myself for doing. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified every week when I upload new videos. I upload new videos every Wednesday, so you don't want to miss any of my future vlogs. Please like and comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Any questions that you have for me about anything that I discuss on my channel, please add those in the comments below. I will make sure to get back to you in the comments. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming back each week and helping support me as I talk about my postpartum journey. Love you. Bye.